So it's been a while since I played this, and I think the last thing that happened was that there was a party. Or no, the last word that was said was, Luke will clean up after the party. She knew she couldn't trust him, and because of that, the dining hall is a mess with a few of his drunk friends sleeping about. At least a dozen men and women are scattered about, sleeping like they're in alcohol-induced comas. Even Officer Lee is there, sleeping off the effects and still clutching a bottle of 1998 Jamia, something. No doubt, Luke has served some of his stores and absinthe. Judging by the faint burnt smell, they had set fire to the latter too, Neue Bohemian. There's only so much I can tolerate, as we Johans retrieve every single one and get them a cab. And they are everywhere. At the table, on it, and underneath it, and some are even in the kitchen.
Nap time is over, Kinder. Time to go.
What is Kinder? Just wondering. And oh dear, does this piss off our valet, even though he's a man of silent fury. Although it's a little treat to hear him utter curses in German from the other room. I imagine Luke will be amused as well, if it isn't his guests that are being thrown out. Instead, he's brooding in his seat, rolling a stack of daffodil in between his fingers.
He's energetic, and you aren't drunk.
What? You didn't drink?
That, or you are getting better with handling your hangovers without your dog hairs. Should I be looking out the window to see if the sky has turned red and if pigs have started to fly?
I am unfortunately completely sober, Hannah.
Well, that's good, but why?
And how does it feel not being hungover?
Still miserable.
It'll get better.
Or so they say. You wanted to talk about something?
Yes, I did.
You know, for once, I wish you were hungover. Maybe this isn't the best time for this talk.
No, please. I do not like loose ends. And this is a bloody ugly loose end.
Then, first things first, I want you to be honest with me, just between the two of us.
And me.
Without others to impress, without people listening in. Just you and me.
Did you or did you not sleep with Rochelle Lee and got her pregnant?
I didn't get her pregnant. But the thought of having a child with her? Can you just imagine it? Or rather, don't.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like a cool lady.
I can already see it. It'll look like that ruddy pig boy from that Young Wizard book.
I don't care about once upon a time.
Not once upon a time, Hannah.
What I'm asking is if you were with her the other night during my party.
Him not showing up in most of the gatherings I've hosted in the past is nothing new, of course. The one I've had last week is no different. It's merely another thing I've gotten used to between us after things turn sour. But after Rochelle's outburst last night, I won't deny feeling the disappointment. The betrayal. What's done is done, however. Though at the very least, I still want to hear the truth from him.
She made me meet with her the night of your party. But I swear, I only agreed to go so that I could tell her I wasn't having none of it. It isn't my baby. I don't even think it's Lee's. Poor bloke.
Oh dear.
I mean, I probably slept with her once.
That's more than enough!
We were probably incredibly drunk, but that would have been a long time ago before she was preggo.
Are you sure, Luke? You're not making anything up or leaving anything out?
Of course not. I swear it on my mother's grave.
He swears it, he says, as he hands me the flower with such tenderness. And I believe him.
Well, if that's all you wanted to talk about, you shouldn't have made me worry.
For the sake of my sanity and for the sake of our marriage, I'll pretend that you never said any of that.
Okay.
Are you sure you aren't drunk now?
Haven't had a single drop and hating it.
Oh, so he stayed sober so we could have this talk. You know what? Good on you, Luke. Usually, having this kind of conversation would make you want to drink, but no. Good on you, man.
Would you like something to drink? Because I'm not done.
Oh?
I have something else to tell you.
What's up?
No thanks, maybe I will after this little talk you wanted to have. I already told you, and you already said you believe me that the brat isn't my child. I already spilled that I might have had drunken sex with her once, and you wish to wipe that off your memory. So do we have anything else to talk about? Because have at it.
Okay, you know
I'm
what?
all ears.
Good.
You're pretty miffed for someone who just admitted to his wife that he's cheated.
And you're stalling. I can tell that incident has you shaken up. So why don't you just spit it out and get this all over with?
I'm pregnant.
What? Since when? What?
What? Come again?
Yeah, I'm with you, Luke. What? When?
You heard me.
You've got to be kidding, right? This must be some kind of joke. Are you taking the piss at me? Because, woman, I don't need a second fake pregnancy.
Instead of answering, however, I stay silent and let the matter of the fact sink into his head. His face heats up for a moment before he goes pale. He raises a hand in hopes of asking for a drink, but the morning staff are still busy evicting the last of his inebriated companions. And he doesn't even bother to bark out orders, as if he's lost his very voice. Actually, he looks like he looks like he's on the verge of hyperventilating.
This is hard. Anna, darling. I need some air. How long have you been?
3 months.
What?
And the twins. Although we don't know yet if they're a boy or a girl or both.
Good God! Twins! I'm going to be a father!
Yes, you are, Luke. But I'm confused.
To two tiny babies! Breathe, Luke! Breathe!
Get this man some air.
Goodness, Luke, I'm the one who's pregnant here, not you.
No, don't touch me! Stay away!
Whoa. A scream cuts off my amusement, and without thinking, Luke and I rush to the foyer. There stands a crazed-looking chief inspector, trashing about as he tries to make it up the stairs while Johannes holds him back.
What is going on here?
Und tschüss. All the Schweinehunde must leave, including you, Chef Inspector. This one is very problematic and will not leave.
Officer Lee, what is going on?
No, you can't make me leave! I need to stay here for her! I need to help her!
Help who? Oh.
Oh, Rochelle?
Oh no, he's been possessed.
She's probably already at home, dearie.
He's been possessed.
Or she might have already gone and skipped town. Who knows?
Oh, for the love of... There's no point talking logic in him. Lee, go home. You're drunk.
Can't you hear her crying? She was crying, just weeping and in so much pain last night. I couldn't help her, drunk sobbing bastard that I am. But my help, she needs my help. Tell your fucking stupid lapdog to let go of me, Luke! Or I'm gonna knock him down and I'm gonna knock the two of you down too!
Bold of you to assume you can take Johannes.
Language! I've already dealt with your wife, so don't make me deal with you, Lee. Or I swear I'll...
Hannah, enough. Don't stress yourself over him. It'll be bad for the twins. So go back to your breakfast and let me handle this, okay?
Thank you, Luke.
Are you sure?
Why wouldn't I be? Now, go ahead and do something less stressful.
Thank you, Luke. 5 minutes after learning he has twins, he's already kind of a concerned father. Kind of. Somewhat. Good for you. Go ahead. And do nothing. There isn't much to do, it seems, whenever I step up to the plate and try to take responsibility for something. Perhaps because everything is already being handled by someone hired specifically for that job. And with Johannes overseeing the staff and Luke handling everything else as a whole, that doesn't leave much for me. I can't even take the job of delegation, because all it takes is a word to one of the senior staff and everything will be taken care of for me. Moving in here... Whoa. Whoa. Moving in here a few days ago may have very been the chore that took the most effort from me. And that didn't take any real effort at all.
Yes, Hannah, go buy a mansion in the middle of nowhere. Good idea. Great plan.
There are no dishes to set aside and busy myself with. Any mess left behind is now nearly non-existent. To sit on the counter while eating cake is supposed to be my next plan. Alas, there isn't even one to finish off, and I don't really know who brought me to the kitchens in the first place. It's not like I'm craving anything else, nor do I have any unfinished business left here. Oh, but you do, Hannah, my darling. But there's a calling to this room. Speaking of calling, why not do just that? Might as well, since I have nothing else to do. At least that'll require some effort on my part. With how cut off from the rest of Luxborn the mansion is, and with how long it's been abandoned, having a landline is out of the question. The solution, supposed to be, are mobiles, although it isn't much considering how spotty the signal is in the area. It'll take a bit of maneuvering to get even a single bar as it is. It takes a bit, as I said it would. I have to park my rear on one of the cold drawers, but that suits me just fine. Another matter is that needs my effort is who to call. She who must not be named is certainly off my list. That doesn't leave much in the category of close friends who attended the party, along with the category of who else is awake at this early hour. But soon enough, I manage, and the call goes through.
Hello, Rebecca Gales here.
Oh! Okay, cool.
Who's this?
Good morning, Becky.
Hannah? Oh, wait, how did you get my number?
She knows people.
You responded to your RSVP through the phone. It's all saved in here, of course. I thought I'd like to say hi and make plans and get together sometime. Also, I'd love to hear news about your mother and father and about you, my dear. Oh, I hope I didn't wake you up.
Oh, you're good.
Are you?
It's sports day at school today, so I was just prepping for that.
Figures that you'd be a teacher as well. I'm sure your students must absolutely adore you.
They absolutely hate her.
Don't know about that.
Mathematics?
History, actually. Anyway, it's real nice to know you've got my number. I was going to ask for yours because Mom wanted to keep in touch.
You could have asked, silly girl. I would have gladly given it to you.
Couldn't, though, because, well, the thing that happened.
Yeah, kind of an awkward situation.
But really am sorry, though. I gotta run. School, schedule, stuff. Is there anything else you want to say? Don't want to use the mobile while driving?
The mobile. Just call it a phone, dear. Just call it a phone.
Oh, of course, of course. I shouldn't keep you. But I wanted to thank you for your company yesterday.
Not a problem.
And for that other thing as well.
Other thing?
What for now?
For what you said to me. With what had happened.
Oh, yeah, the advice, right.
It's been very helpful in...
The call starts to go static, much to my frustration. A strange clicking noise drowns out most of her words, too. I doubt she can understand what I'm saying. And the line completely dies. So what I'm supposed to take from this is that once we're in here, we can't call for help. I can feel a headache coming along. It's just building up, starting from a light throbbing on one side of my head. The static is gone and that helps a lot. There's still that incessant, horrible clicking. Again and again and again. Which doesn't make sense. The mobile's turned off, isn't it? And if it isn't coming from the phone, then where? Looking down, I can't help but let my eyes be drawn to the hatch leading to the wine cellar once more. Hannah, please don't do this. Then when the clicking stops and I can hear that crying, that familiar crying from before. What happened the other day when I was told that nobody should have been down there? I tried to forget about it because it unsettled me. One can hardly do that when I'm looking at the very thing I'm trying to forget. Somebody is crying down there again. But if I leave it alone, it simply won't stop bothering me for the rest of the day. They might have forgotten to lock it, what with the party going on.
This again? If somebody is pulling my leg, I will not be happy.
Oh, no. True enough, all it takes is a bit of a pull to open the hatch. As I look down to the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me. It isn't just the sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. And as I look down, I feel like this is looking back at me. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep. The cries drown beneath the shrieks that start echoing in my head, high and shrill, like nails being dragged across this chalkboard. They're all screaming, shouting at me. And I can just feel her rage. Help me! She wants to drown me, drag me down and crush me in the very depths of darkness, until there's nothing left of me. The deep abyss waits for me. for my death. They're all calling for it. This is a nightmare. There's a rope around my neck and I can feel the rest of me being torn apart. And they're still screaming. I'm screaming. Though it's not my voice that escapes my lips. It claws through, climbing up and forcing its way through my throat like putrid bile. I choke and gag, yet I scream and shriek at all at the same time. And I'm me, but not me. Whoa. Oh, shit! Fuck. I think I messed up. It pushes me down to my knees before I'm prone and vulnerable on my stomach. It makes me tumble and I can just feel my whole body seizing, writhing on the floor. Everything and nothing hurts. It feels like I'm on the verge of death. And if I'm not dying, I nearly wish I actually am.
Hana? Hana, what is going on in here? Why are you?
Prince!
Prince? I think... Okay, I messed up on the QT, because I thought it hit tab to do something. But I messed up a little bit. Seeing Luke, something snaps back, and I'm able to take a grasp of my own volition for the first time in what felt like centuries. I would have rejoiced and cried for his name if the pain still didn't rack my body. Instead, all I can do is stare listlessly as he comes to my side and lifts me up, cradling me in his arms. He tries to get me to my feet, perhaps to take me out of here. But all he's able to do is get me to sit, make sure I'm not trashing on the floor. I can still feel my muscles spasm, limbs jerking like a puppet's on a string. Luke holds me tight and keeps me still, so that I don't hurt myself anymore. Whatever it is that happened, it has my mind feeling frayed and battered. Eventually, the pain dies down into a dull ache, and my own tongue stops feeling like cotton. It's only now that I can feel the wetness on my cheeks, tears streaking down my face. The coughing racks my body now that I don't feel like choking. And it just feels all so horrible. But I don't care. I don't care.
Luke, please.
What happened here? Who did this to you?
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Shh, it's all right. You're safe now, Hana. You're safe now.
And just like that, we're on chapter 3. Okay, yeah, I totally messed up that QTE. I really did. But the pleasant aroma hits me long before I cross the threshold. Faint but light and warm, a reminder of what home is. Pa's stern but commanding gaze, Ma's tender smiles, the sunlight filtering through the eaves in the morning, and the distinct smell of cinnamon and vanilla as it drifts through the air every time something cooks from the room. The room, our room, Ma and Pa's pride and joy. My sister and I too, eventually. But we ain't allowed there. Not yet. Not until we're taller or older. Not until we learn how to take care of ourselves and not burn our hands or reach the cupboards without having to be lifted.
But a little peek wouldn't hurt, yeah?
The floorboards are cold under my feet more than it usually is. The wall's more forbidding than what I'm used to. Farther and farther the room goes. Ma's singing ceases, and Pa?
No, please wait. I'll be good. I'll sleep on time. Don't go.
I can't hear Pa. Not... Not above the raucous clanging and the deafening roar of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting soft melodies. There's only the blinding fear. When my foot slips, the red sea that catches me is bitter and frigid, but the blood that drips in my hand is warm, warm, warm. It ain't my blood. The walls tumble, and everything goes quiet. Zach! Oh my god, man! It takes a few moments for everything to fall into place, for my eyes to adjust to the relative darkness of the room. Despite the pleasant chill the AC brings, my shirt's clinging to me tightly, and my blanket is tangled mess around my throat. Morning hasn't even arrived, and yet...
Way too early for this thing, man.
And too long. Too long since the last I've woken up drenched in my own sweat, head littered with thoughts that are soon gone as my eyes open. All too often, only imprints and brief messages are left to haunt me for the rest of the day, or until my mind forgets about it. Egad, whichever comes first. Yet, vivid or not, what little I can remember doesn't matter. Regardless, the desperation sticks, clawing up, pushing, urging me to relieve every moment, every sensation, and... There's a twinkle in Ma's eyes when she looks up from her work, flour dusting her nose and cheeks. The scent of freshly baked bread wafts from the oven as soon as Pa opens it, and the homely fragrance of honey fills the room. He reaches up to wipe the small beads of sweat away from his forehead before gesturing for me to come closer the moment he spots me in my little hiding place behind the door. I expected him to be angry, but his pat on my back when I come within his arm's reach is encouraging enough. We'll have to taste these first before we can put up for sale tomorrow. You up for it, little man? Is it good enough? A knock cuts through the air before I can answer. Sharp, heavy, demanding, familiar. So distinctly familiar. Ma ushers me out of the kitchen when Pa moves to answer it. But I know. I know what waits outside. The taste of blood in my mouth sends an unpleasant churning in my gut. Ma's apron crinkles under my tight grip. Something snaps back into place. My bed remains in utter disarray. The walls still need a paint job, and the wall clock ticking opposite my bed is unsettling as ever. Ash is right. I should have already replaced that when I had the chance.
You're no longer there, Zachary. Here and there are miles apart. Calm down. Breathe.
The pressure of my own fingers against my temples, a welcome sensation over the anxiety gripping me. It never really did anything to stave off the headache sure to follow after this before, but it grounds me. A little reminder that I'm safe, away from the place I once called home, from Ma and Pa's. The urgency which each rap that follows finally chases away the ghosts threatening to hang around. Why anyone thinks it's a good idea to knock at someone else's door this late confuses me. Nana would chase them all away with a broom if she was here. But no matter, it's a welcome break from the thoughts about to take a morbid turn if left festering. It's probably just Ash anyway, looking for a place to crash. Looking for a place to crash. Wonder of wonders why he's bothering with courtesy when he never did so before. Even with that hunch, though, habit compels me to check who it is first through the peephole. Better safe than sorry, they say. I'm gonna guess that it's, Bella. Except the person that greets me on the other side ain't him. Unless his hair grew longer overnight and started wearing a ponytail, of course, which I highly doubt will happen anytime soon, no matter how funny that looks in my head. I waste no time opening the latches.
Isabella, it's late.
Isabella, you're safe. Thank God. I was so worried. There's something I can't quite pinpoint in her eyes when she looks up. Her face a pallid shade, shoulders tense, breathing heavy, and an uncontrollable shaking in her hands she's trying to hold back. Hide, if I didn't know any better.
Hey, Zach. Sorry, I know it's weird for me to show up at this hour, but you are the closest to my office, and...
No. It's perfectly fine. I'm not really working on anything right now. Do you want to come in?
Is it all right? I know you should be sleeping at this hour, but I thought... I'm sorry, I just thought...
Calm down, Bella. It's okay.
I have no idea why I went here. My feet just moved on their own after I got out of the office, and... Sorry.
She trails off, her voice lost in the muggy night air. I wait for her to say more, but instead her only response is a downward shift of her gaze, back to her still trembling hands as if the motion alone is enough of an explanation. A minuscule gesture. Easy to miss if one's not paying attention. But for someone who has seen the same expression on the mirror, done the same thing too many times when night terrors are inevitable, it's not.
Hey, don't worry about it. At least you not. Ash just barges in and crashes on the couch whenever he feels like it. I swear that guy is one fine hairline away from being a criminal.
Without waiting for her answer, I step away from the door and saunter over to the kitchenette. For a good few seconds, only the clinking of plates can be heard above the constant tick-tock. Late as it may be for a snack, the familiar motions keep me occupied, steering my mind away from dangerous thoughts. Isabella's company is not unwelcome either. Whatever her reasons for showing up here at such an hour doesn't matter. I'll be damned if I just turn her away, frazzled as she is. The door clicks shut behind her when she finally enters, feet scuffling softly against the tiled floor. In all the years I've known her, she's never once lost her ever upbeat spirit. Yet in this particular moment, as she stands in my doorway holding her arms close to herself, it's as though I'm looking at someone completely withdrawn from the person I've come to know all these years.
Do you want to drink or eat anything? I haven't restocked my food stash yet, so ingredients may be a bit limited. But I'm sure I can whip something up with what I have here.
Just water will do, please. Thanks, Zach.
What? No additional food requests? That's new. I'll put something together for you anyway. Feel free to make yourself at home. You ain't exactly a new visitor here. Although my room's not at its most presentable right now. Sorry. New freelance gigs and such. Didn't have time to fix things up here lately.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Usually she'd have something more to say about that. A quip, a witty remark to provoke a laughter or two. Nothing from her this time. Only a weak smile before she takes a seat on the couch, and a silence that stretches out until what we have left. Until we left hanging feels disconcerting. I don't know if I read that correctly. Before everything turns stifling and awkward, I continue talking, if only to keep the dead air at bay. How's one supposed to keep a conversation going when the person you're talking to is like this?
Anyway, gigs. Can you believe this one client we got? Boss had all my schedule shoots shifted after they caught wind of this couple buying a new property. Man, must be nice to have all the money in the world. The world itself moves for you, huh?
She's curled up on one side of the couch and hugging her knees close when I bring the tray covering the sandwiches and the water she requested. She starts to straighten her up as I'm unloading the contents, pauses as soon as I hold up my hand in a halting gesture.
You're a guest. Didn't I say you're free to make yourself at home? Here's your water. Careful.
The tremor in her hands, though lighter now, still hasn't subsided when she reaches out for the glass. I give her a questioning look, but she's quick to avert her eyes, keeping herself occupied by taking small gulps of water. Or maybe she just doesn't want me asking questions. Worrying. The sudden loss for words, this bout of quiet not normally present in our chats. Even the creaking of the old chair when I casually take the seat is a welcome break. Although the company's familiar, this has gone way past unnerving.
What happened? Overtime at work?
She doesn't answer immediately. Another gulp drains her glass of its remaining contents. One would think it would be enough to help her recover, yet she doesn't lose her taut grip on the glass as she cradles it on her lap. Her eyes take an unfocused gaze when she speaks.
Yeah. Boss handed me extra work today. After what happened. To Rose.
Rose? Why do I feel like you've mentioned her before? Sorry, I'm better with remembering faces than names.
She was my coworker. That will take some getting used to. I was just talking to her the other day.
Was? Did she resign or something? I think I'm missing a few details here, Bella.
You've never met her. I think I did mention her once, or twice. It doesn't matter. You probably heard her name recently from the news than me.
Something clicks then. A little memory from the night before. The bright red light of the dark room, the strong odor of the stop bath, the television's barely audible murmur in the background, and a glimpse of the bloody room. The news is everywhere, even in the morning that follows. I just didn't think its effects would strike someone this close to me.
Oh. Damn. I didn't mean to bring that up.
No, like I said, it'll take some getting used to, but it'll get better. I hope it will. Things might become a little busier for me, though. She left a lot of things unfinished, and I'm one of the few people in the office who knows how she works. Boss thinks the transition will be easier if I handle it.
That explains it. Well, just don't forget you still need rest.
And let's not forget that she was just, chased by a ghost, ghoul, spirit, whatever.
Even the most hard-working people I know don't keep hours as late as this. Hell, the subway stopped running hours ago. Crime rate might be lower here than most places, but that doesn't mean you can walk around freely in the middle of the night.
It's just for today.
Still a good thing you dropped by here first. I'm not just about to let you walk out here alone, especially not in the middle of the night. Who knows what else could happen? I'm not saying you should go right now, but I could accompany you home if you...
No! Wait, please!
Oh, she doesn't want to be alone. The vehement tension in her voice makes me pause, and it is in this instant that the mask she's been keeping up falls apart, if only for a short while. Right then and there, I understood what was hiding behind her unfocused stare from the moment she arrived. Fear. Pure, unadulterated fear. It's disturbing to see such marring her. It's disturbing to see such marring her usual upbeat countenance. With a sigh, I cross the small distance separating us and kneel in front of her. She doesn't flinch when I do so. However, the way she appears to make herself smaller against the couch is telling enough.
Bella, this ain't just about your coworker, is it? What is it really about? I'm all ears.
The sound of glass shattering wrenched through the air as soon as her hold on it loosens. In the span of a few seconds, her breathing grows labored.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
She clasps her hands over her ears, pressing it tightly against the sides of her head. Her voice grows weaker with each word, each plea coming out of her mouth.
Please, please don't leave me alone. I don't want to be alone right now. I can't shake it off. Everywhere's not safe and...
All right, Isabella. Look at me. Look at me.
My hands are firm on her shoulder when I pull her up to look at me. It takes every force of will to ignore the terror in her eyes in favor of taking control of the situation. Too close. Too similar.
Breathe. Breathe. You're safe here. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Stay in the present. I'm here. No one's gonna hurt you. Do you want to talk about it?
The force with which she shakes her head is enough reason to drop the topic altogether.
No more. Please. No more. I don't want to remember anymore.
Kate, no more talking. I won't ask anymore. Can I get you anything? Another glass of water? I think I have a tub of that pistachio ice cream you love so much. We're gonna have to clean this mess first. Will you be fine on your own for a little while?
She nods lightly before retreating into herself again. No more words are exchanged after that, and I take that as my cue to start cleaning the shards littering the floor before either one of us gets hurt. The quiet hum of the AC is a pleasant distraction as I go over the menial task. More so than her ragged draws of breath or my little, feeble attempts to tell a quick story or two. The latter does the trick. And soon enough she's already drifted off by the time I return with the promised glass of water. Her chest rising and falling in a steady rhythm, the strain on her shoulders gone. Frankly, I've never seen her that still. She mumbles something I don't quite catch when I carry her to the empty bed and hugs herself tighter against the mess of blankets. In spite of the fact that she appears relaxed, the small frown on her face hasn't quite disappeared. Whatever happened to her won't be leaving her anytime soon. But for her sake, I hope it won't stay long with her. There are still questions left to be answered. But the late hour, coupled with the sudden exhaustion, made my old couch a more comfortable bed than it typically is. Look, I'm glad Bella's safe. And she's going through some shit, but she's realized something. So we need to understand what's going on with her. But we're going to save that for next time. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.